All right, guys, before we get into this car, we're hoping to drop a whole bunch of videos in the next few days. We have got a ton to choose from. Parking lot is slam full. They're parking sideways for crying out loud in here, and we got to go. So we are going to start moving them out of here because on Wednesday night, my wife and I are going right here to this place, our favorite place in the world to go to. You know where that is? Leave a comment down below. We got to get this one checked out. The studio is all the way down there, and I didn't walk down here with a scanner, so we're gonna walk this or drive this vehicle in and get going. So, got the vehicle in here, got it on the rack. I'm assuming we're going up in the air with it. So we got the rack set, ready to go. We're scanning it. Normally, when you have a when you have a code for a gas cap or a warning for a gas cap, it's usually a gross EVAP leak, so a large EVAP leak. We're going to verify that. The reason the manufacturers do that is because sometimes people leave their gas cap off and fill up with gas, leave it off. They get a check engine light on, and people are going into shops for just check engine light. They're basically going back to the manufacturer. They don't really care about it going into shops. They're rolling back in the dealership under warranty saying, I got a check engine light on, come and find out the gas cap's off. So that's why they do it. Here we got our 3 codes, just pulled them up. Only codes in the whole car, honestly. 3 codes in the engine control module. PO457 stored, EVAP system loose fuel cap, PO440 general EVAP system leak, and for PO456 a EVAP system small leak. All of these are stored, so none of these are current. That's an interesting thing here.
It could be that they fixed it with the gas cap.
They might have fixed this with the gas cap. It's very possible. Let's see if we can run a test. I think it is this one. Okay, this test allows a technician to run the large leak, loose cap, OBD monitor test without meeting all the enabled criteria. Okay, let's try it. Let's see if they fixed it. Start the engine. We don't want to die in here, so let's go ahead and hook that up. Single. Oh. Yeah, I mean, it works. So let's fire it up. All right. Let's see what this thing is going to require us to do. All right. Large leak test in progress. Okay. So it's going to sit here and run through this test.
What's the true?
True is it's running the test. So now it's running. It says the ESIM switch is open. So fuel tank pressure minus 392. Well, let's see if this thing leaks off at where it says 374, the very bottom down here, 365. So it's definitely leaking off right now. I don't know if it's, let's see here. All right, so we'll let it run through its test here. Look, it's got everything up top. It says in progress, passed, complete, failed. I'm thinking right now, my thought process is it just pulled a vacuum on the tank. How much fuel is in this? And it's got a little under a quarter. And it looks like it's dropping off pretty quick to me, but we'll let it run through its thing here.
converting.
Okay, now it just went back up again. Oh, it's okay, so it's purging now. So now we see the purge duty cycles at 5, 6, 7. You see the fuel tank pressure is at -5 now, so it's pulling a vacuum in there for sure. Now the purge. Well,
Explain to them what that
pulling
means.
that. Basically, it's opening the purge valve right now and pulling a vacuum into the tank. It does have the ESIM switch open. I have to look at that. I'm not super familiar with this vehicle on whether that should be closed or open to seal the system, but it's definitely running through a test right now to check for leaks, because we can see it's purging right this second. It's purging for a long time. I mean, it's almost at 10% duty cycle on the purge valve, which is... I'm wondering if it's not seeing what it wants to see. It maybe wants that tank to be in more of a vacuum than what it is. Yeah. We'll let it run through its thing here. Biggest thing here is we don't want to be chasing something that's fixed already.
We do see that sometimes too.
It does happen. People will...
They think it's going to automatically clear.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. Normally the manufacturers are pretty good about, if they put that code on, it'll try to pass that test again pretty quickly and to try to turn that light back off. But I also don't know how long the light was on before they put the gas cap on, so, or the warning was up. It's definitely purging. Now it's at almost 13%. It's attempting to get a more of a vacuum in that tank right now. It's at 15%. Now it's at 15%. So it's ramping up. So what's the purge cycle, duty cycle is, it's not just turning the purge valve on and leaving it open. It's cycling that purge valve, because if it just opened up, it would just pull pure vacuum into the fuel tank, and that would not be a good day. I mean, as soon as the purge turns off, the vacuum in the fuel tank starts to leak off, and then it turns the purge back on again. I don't think this is actually testing. I think this is... We're going to go out of here. Let me just... Let's see what... In order to run this test engine, must be running. Let's try this. Closed. This is... I was hoping that it would give me more than that. All right. Go back over here. Go here. Just going to see if it'll run this test again. Sometimes we have to cycle the key to do it, to make it do it 2 times in a row. 1 key cycle. Engine must not be running to begin the test. Okay. Well, it's not running. Nope. Test. Gotta turn the key off for 30 seconds. I have to rerun the test. So
Make sure you follow the instructions when you do these kind of things.
yeah, you definitely want to make sure you follow the instructions, because otherwise you could just run it in a loop. It'll kick you out and tell you you might think it's doing something it's not. All right, now it says large leak test in progress, true. We do have a purge flow. We have fuel tank pressure going into a vacuum. Wish I could see it all on one screen, but I can see the purge duty cycle, so. I mean, it never, before it never said that it completed the test. It never said it passed or failed. But if it's in progress, you would think the true at the top value would stay true until it, once that true went off to false, you would think that one of the ones below it, passed, completed, or failed, would change to true. A lot of duty cycle now. Now we're at almost 50%. and we're still only pulling 5 kPa, 5.5. Okay, now the duty cycle went off. See, the thing just turned off. It says false, that it's no longer in progress, and nothing else changed. And it's 100% leak and vacuum off. So, all right. This could be something with the scanner, the car, I don't know. Let's go ahead and let's look up this these codes. So 457, 440, and 456. Did some research. This has an ESIM, which is an evaporative system integrity monitor. So it's basically a little component that's got some relief valves in it, and it's got a switch in it. And Chrysler's been using these for a long time, but I wanted to make sure that I know what this car is supposed to do. When this vehicle, when the vacuum is pulled down on the EVAP system and it goes past a certain point, which in this case would be over 250 pascals. So we were at 5 kilopascals, which is way above the 250. Then that switch should have went to closed. I'm going to do this again to be sure that I did not see something wrong here. So let's go back into system test. Keys on. Let's go back into system test. Back into this force monitor test. And we're going to, I want to look at that switch. So this time I'm looking at something a little different.
Is the switch something they can see under the hood, or is it
No, the switch, so Sherwood's asking if this something you can see the switch. The switch is in the little monitor, the little ESIM. What we are going to do, so right now it's running this test, and we see that the switch is open. So this is what we're looking at right there. So that switch is open. Right now, that should make that closed. That 420, that switch should 100% be closed right now. And it's not closing. So we've got an issue, I feel like, with that switch. We're going to go ahead and shut this off. So we need to go back here, and we need to get to the switch, which is just going to be hopefully just a connector on that ESIM. And we are going to get into it and check for power and ground to it. And what the module is looking for is this. It's got power and ground to it. It's either 12 volts or 5 volts, it says, depending on the vehicle. And as the switch closes, so as that vacuum gets down below a certain point, as the switch closes, it basically takes the signal wire, the 5 volts or 12 volts, whatever it is, and the switch, closes, which allows that to go to ground. So when the module sees that go to ground, then it goes to the switch is closed. Now, so we need to be sure, does that wire good all the way to that module? Because if that wire is cut somewhere between the module and they got a bad connection or something between the module and the PCM, it's never going to go to ground because it's not connected to the switch, but the PCM is putting out the reference voltage. So hopefully that makes sense. It's got to go to ground through the switch. So we're going to check at the module itself. Do we have power and ground to it? If we do, I think that I was looking up on Identifix, and it said something about you could blow into the vent and it should make the switch go to closed. We're going to see if we can do that or not. Right now, I feel like we've got vacuum in the system, but the switch doesn't close and we've got power and ground to it. I think the switch is going to be bad, but I'm going to try that little extra test just to see. So let me go ahead and get this thing up in there. Let me get access to the switch. The ESIM is located in here. So we got to get this fender liner out. Need to get this wheel off.
It's called a leak detection pump too. So
leak detection pump.
Wondering.
It's not really a pump in this case, but whatever. But we've got wheel locks on this thing, and I don't see a wheel lock key. I do see a little pump here for the for airing up tires, and I see these. I don't know if they want to replace these or not. I looked in the glove box. I looked in the console. I did not look in the doors. You find it?
No.
No. Okay.
You doubted yourself then.
I did, because I thought you reached in there and got it. I was like,
It's always fun digging through people's stuff.
yeah, you don't really like digging through people's stuff.
I'm gonna help you.
You are the wheel lock. I found it.
Found it.
Dun, 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 dun. Look at here. Right here.
I found it.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. But you didn't. All right, let's get the wheel off of it. Let's not keep the 10s all the way around. Let's throw some 8s in there. You know, that's making it simple.
You want to let them know how we approach this with the client.
Another 10. All right, then. We have called the client and said, listen, the highest probability failure is going to be the ESIM, and we need to get access to it to test and continue testing. So we're going to go ahead. We quoted them the ESIM, and now we're going to get access to it if it needs it. They've already authorized it, so it's kind of a quick way of just, you know, instead of pulling it apart and waiting and all that stuff, we're going to be able to just wham bam, thank you ma'am, hopefully. Should come out. Stuck on that stud. It's just absolutely stuck on that stud right there. There we go. All right. We're stuck on that. All right. Dun, 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 dun. He's up here. All right. Get my little O-light little guy out here. All right. O-light. Put a magnet back here. Put a magnet back here. You got it? Or I'm sorry, put a magnet right there. I'm sorry. Right there. That's what I want the magnet at. So I can do that. Not that. I want to do that. All right. Just thought I'd throw it out there. All right, so now here's our connector. Simple 2 wires. One's going to be some type of voltage, either 5 volts or 12 volts, and the other one's going to be ground. Hopefully, it could be a ground issue. If the ground's not good, then it'll never ground. So let's go ahead and get, everybody always talks about how, you know, I use a scope all the time. So we're going to use a meter on this one. Let me see where the vent is. There's the vent. So what they said is you can blow in this tube right here. I don't know how the heck you're going to do that. Blow into this. I mean, okay. I guess I could pull it off and blow into it, but all right. Well, first thing I'm going to do is check for power and ground. So I got to wash my hands, turn the key on, and then get a meter back here. This rack has been handy. It's got some upside. It's got some downside, but it's got some upside. It is pretty fast, so. Not $1,600. I did say 16 when we were first talking about it in the previous video. It is 16,000. And I would highly recommend, if you're going to buy one of these racks, that you countersink it into the ground. It would make life way easier. All right, you got me, but I need you to turn the key on. I just need the key on.
I didn't mean to do that.
Okay.
It just was very
It's touchy, eh?
touchy there.
All right, we'll go back up a little bit. The only thing about these back probes I don't like. These little sleeves are fantastic, but if you go to put them on this type of a connector, you can't use that sleeve anymore. All right, so we're going to use that one, and I'll use the brown for the ground. Not that it matters. Just okay. If I go back here and I go across those two wires, and I get either 5 or 12 volts, then we'll know. Wow, you went all the way up. Okay. I guess I'll reach for it.
You're really hating
Appreciate
on me in
it.
this video, man.
Not hating on you, but man, could you?
I realized that I realized after the fact I was actually going all the way up, and I just stopped.
When it was all the way up?
This is definitely not all the way up.
All right.
All right, yeah.
So we got good voltage there. Now, I'm going to take. So here's the deal. The valve's bad. It's the ESIM, whatever you want to call it, is bad. But I'm going to take it off. I wonder how it comes off. Let's see here. Just. All right. Says release the clip and rotate it a quarter of a turn. Oh my goodness, how simple was that? I don't know if it's supposed to do that or not, but I'm thinking no. Could be wrong. Oh, that could be the weights in there, I guess. Never really took one and shook one before. All right, let's put this.
Some of the European ones.
Yeah, definitely the DMTL, the DTMLs, DTMLs. All right, anyway. Okay, now can I get to that? Can you lower it down a little bit? A little high for me.
Still?
Well, I've got a blow on that. $10.31 DOA. Nothing, really? Come on, man. Let's get we got a new one coming?
Lunch. Jacksonville, unless you want some cheap aftermarket one.
No, I don't want no cheap aftermarket one. You ain't gonna ask that.
Then it's gonna be lunch.
Man.
You gotta wait for the good stuff.
Wait for the good stuff. All right. Well, see you after lunch. Got the new ESIM in. We are gonna.
Leak detection pump.
Okay, whatever. Show me the pump in there, and I'll agree with you. All right. So here's what I've got here. That's not working. I got the switch pulled up. It says open. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and graph it. Bam. Now we'll be able to see it when it pops up. I'm gonna go ahead. It's ion. All right, let's go ahead and blow on this one again. There's nothing. It's not happening. Nothing going. Now, let's see something here. Okay, same thing. All right, I don't know if that's going to work at all, honestly. I don't know if that's even a thing. We're going to find out. That could be a totally nothing test.
It's just something that's on Identifix or something?
Yeah, I just saw it on Identifix. Oh, I didn't push this out of the way. Meant to do that earlier. Darn it. That's it. All right. It does shake though. Not quite as much as that one, but it does shake. So. Really? Might be that you get that on. Slide that in to get it to lock. Nope. This is crazy. I think there's just a bunch of garbage in this thing. Let me get some of that out. Simple little thing. Oh man, factory, huh? They're not exactly the same.
Yes, it was 100% Mopar.
Well, I understand, but I'm just telling you that the plug-in's not, the inside is not exactly the same, but here it is. All right, good. Whew, they just changed the design. All right, now let's try this thing. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. Look at that. Hey! Hey, that little blow thing works. I'm gonna put a little bit of this penophyte on here. This is the stuff that has the graphite in it. I'm just gonna put a little bit on the O-ring. I'm not gonna go crazy. Okay, I've got to get my hand in there though.
I want to see.
And I'm just gonna make sure that it's lubed up good. You can take a look at it now. Okay, I just put a little lube on it right in here. And you could put, O-ring lube. You can put whatever you want to on there, as long as it's not going to damage the O-ring. That stuff will not damage the O-ring. And then I'm going to just slide this back in, turn it back into place. Okay, and then put our hose back on. Now, before we go any further, just to prove this out, we're now going to take, and before I put everything back together, I'm going to wash my hands, I'm going to get in the car, and I'm going to run this test again to see the difference. So let's just see that thing shutting and doing this thing. We know this is going to fix the car, but let's be 100% sure this is going to take 5 minutes to do that. All right, let's go ahead back into system test. We're going to do the same test we did before, the ESIM forced monitor test. Start the engine. Got our exhaust extractor on. Let's see what this thing does. All right, leak test in progress. The ESIM switch is already closed. We never saw that closed before. It's already closed. So I don't really need to see anything else. It's going to be fixed. So it was 5 kPa and it was 250 PA. So I don't know if I said that right before or not, but anyway. All right.
Vibrates like a dart.
Oh, it's vibrating. I mean, that's... Look at here. Now we got test is complete. to run this test. Okay, it says leak, large leak test. Okay, hang on. Cancel that. Large leak test passed, true. Large leak test complete, true. Now we run the test. It's all passed. Everything's good. We know the car is fixed. No doubt about it. All right, guys, that's it. It's fixed. We've proved it out, and we've gone through all the steps that we needed to do to find the problem, fix the problem, and confirm that we fixed it. Sure was talking to me as we're kind of walking around. He's like, you know, people are going to call you out. They're saying they're flat rate. They don't have time to do this last test, all that kind of stuff. That last test took probably 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. And we know now it's fixed. There's no other issues. So take the time to do that. It's going to save you in the long run, because you'd much rather it not pass here and you be able to figure out what happened. Maybe something got, you know, pinched or something when you put this back in. You'd rather know that than the client get it and now you're pulling stuff back apart. Anyway, that's how we do it here. We appreciate you watching. You know what to do. If you like the video, thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think. Crazy week going on. We got more videos coming. We'll see you in the next one.